Hello, and I'm making the next episode. I think it's 6. I could be wrong. But I'm still recording for the same computer. I do have another computer that I play the game on now. And now that I can actually play it again, I can start making these videos again. So it's the same as always. I talk about what guns got changed, what guns sit where in the list, and there was 3 new guns recently added. And those have been added to the list as I have used them. So SS being the gun's completely overpowered, it needs to be nerfed. There's no reason to let it sit in the current position it is in because it's just completely broken. Nothing changed in this. There's been no new guns added from it so far, which is good. Down to S tier, which are guns that are way above the point balance, need nerfs and changes to make them balanced. Here's where we see our first changes. First of all, we have a new system to add on to. It says now when there's the minus for it being dropped and the plus for being raised, there's now from what tier it was previously from. And first off, the SCAR SSR coming down from the SS tier. The only reason for this is the last time I used it, it had a lot of vertical recoil, unlike before. When it was first released, it didn't have as much recoil, and I could run it with a vertical grip and have it just perfect aim pretty much. The AUG H-bar coming up from B+. I've been running the gun a lot recently, and on one game I went 50-2 with it. It's an amazingly good gun once you get some attachments on it, and it definitely needs to be nerfed a little. The AG3 being one of the new guns and the highest tier, because it's an automatic battle rifle like the SCAR. What limits this gun is the 20 round capacity and its recoil. That's the only reason it's not an SS. It's basically a slow moving SMG. It has a good fire rate, high damage, and an okay recoil. You can control it. Even with a muzzle brake and angle grip, it's still pretty hard to control. That's the only reason it's not higher. Coming to A+. These are guns that are above the point of balance and need some changes, but overall don't need major nerfs to them. The SR3M going to this category. It's the new carbine. It's a nice gun. It performs very well. Its shortcomings are a very high vertical ADS recoil. Even running a angled grip muzzle brake with Mars green laser, it's still very difficult to control that first shot and second shot recoil. After that, you can kind of aim fairly well, but it's very difficult to use at range. It is completely worthless for tap firing, and I highly recommend using this as a hit and run or a stealth gun. On to A tier, where we see no changes. Just to clarify what the A tier is, these are guns that are balanced and do not need changes. Guns in this are where they should be. This is what we want to see guns in. Down to B+, where we see some major changes, actually. B+ is guns that are slightly under the point of balance and need some buffs or changes to them to make them viable. Currently, they can be used in the hands of experienced players, but you need to be experienced to make full use of them. Here we're seeing the whole family of the MP5s. I think until we see some changes to maybe a new attachment, 2 current attachments, or maybe the guns themselves, we're probably going to see the MP5 family stick together. And they all came out of C tier, which I honestly did not think would happen. These guns are not great for long range combat or even typical combat, which is why we see them in B+. What makes these guns not C tier still is they are really good stealth guns. I think there may have been some buffs behind the scenes because the MP10 has a lot less recoil than it used to. Either way, these guns perform very nicely when you run them stealth. I don't really see them being ran as anything else because their accuracy, both aimed and hipfire, are pretty bad. I am probably going to have to do some more testing with them, but so far in combat, as long as I ran them stealth, I found some good success with them. Down to B tier. These are guns that need buffs. They need to be changed. They can be used in the hands of good players and experienced players with the guns, but they're just hard to use. We see the Scar Hammer being brought up out of D tier, something I've been waiting on. I used the gun earlier, and while it still hits as hard as a 5-year-old, you can still use it. I mean, its recoil ain't terrible. Its accuracy is still laughable, and its damage is even funnier. But if you play it well, you can still kind of go positive. What little time I used it, I could squeeze 2 kills out of 1 life, maybe 3 or 4 if I'm lucky. Otherwise, like, the gun just isn't great. And then we see the VSS, the new marksman rifle. That's funny. It's so funny I forgot to laugh. The VSS is a joke of a marksman rifle. Like like if we look at it as a marksman rifle, it's D tier. Like it just cannot be run as a marksman rifle. You're gonna be fighting hard for that. But running it as a stealth hipfire weapon, it performs nicely. You need experience running stealth with that small 10-round magazine, 11 if you have one in the chamber, and it's poor accuracy and fairly poor damage. I mean, the damage is nice up close, but once we start getting out at range, it just drops hard. And it drops pretty fast, too. I think it's the worst marksman rifle at range currently. I can't remember the stats off the top of my head, sadly. But so far, the worst marksman rifle. You can run it as a stealth weapon. It even has a full auto feature, which I actually forgot about that till right now. But it performs very nicely as a stealth gun. You run it hip fire, you can get some aim kills with it, but currently its vertical recoil is too high. Its bullet drop off or muzzle velocity is way too low to be a marksman rifle, and its damage model is ugly. Otherwise, it'd be an alright gun. I like it. I run it from time to time, but I'm kind of sad to see where it was. Back in alpha, it was OP as fuck. I mean, it was the best sniper rifle up close, just hands down. I remember getting like 5 or 6 kills per mag with the gun, and it had 10 back then too. But hopefully I'll get a few buffs to get improved. Otherwise, it's gonna stay here. Now C tier, no guns in it. I'm very glad to see this. We don't want guns at B plus or lower. C tier guns, by the way, are guns that are very difficult to use. You need mastery with the weapons. You gotta have a lot of experience. Basically, professionals could use these guns. Like the pro level players could probably run them, but normal players could not. They would just suffer too much. And D tier, which is now empty as well. These guns are also the same way. These guns are just almost impossible to use. The best players could probably run them and probably go positive. Otherwise, you just can't run them. And there's no guns here. There's no guns in either of these tiers, which is perfect. We may be getting closer to the best balance we've seen before. And then new has no guns because there's currently no new guns to be spoken of. So that's basically the tier list. Hope everyone liked it, and I'll record the next one when I make more changes.